The Evolution Championship Series is an annual esports event that focuses exclusively on fighting games. In fighting game communities it is commonly referred to as EVO, or just EVO. The tournament uses the double elimination format. As with Super Battle Opera, the Evolution tournaments are well known and typically contestants will travel from all over the world to participate, most notably from Japan. EVO was founded by Tom Cannon, also known for his work on Shoryuken.com, a fighting game website. The tournament started as Battle by the Bay, a 40-man Super Street Fighter II Turbo and Street Fighter Alpha 2 tournament in 1996 in Sunnyvale, California, eventually moving to its recurring venue in Las Vegas. The event changed its name to EVO in 2002. Over time, the tournament grew, recording over 1,000 participants in 2009. Originally the tournament used arcade cabinets, but in 2004 the decision was made to move all games over to their console versions, to no small amount of controversy. During the transition to games on the 7th generation consoles, most games were played on a PlayStation 3, though EVO 2014 will run most games on the Xbox 360. Aside from the official tournaments, there is also a BYOC area in which many different games are played and side tournaments are held. History: EVO 2002, EVO 2003, EVO 2004. EVO 2004 took place at Cal Poly Pomona in Southern California from July 29 to August 1. The tournament amassed approximately 700 competitors from over 30 nations to compete over in 9 different games. The games featured included Super Street Fighter II Turbo, Street Fighter III, Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Virtua Fighter 4, Evolution, Guilty Gear 20, Soul Calibur 2, Tekken 4, and Tekken Tag Tournament. Controversially, EVO 2004 used home consoles for most of their tournament games instead of arcade cabinets, with the only exception being Third Strike, which used the more traditional arcade cabinets. The reason for this change was attributed to the various software and hardware limitations of arcade cabinets at the time. EVO 2004 was also the birthplace of EVO Moment number 37, in which Daigo Umehara, while facing Justin Wong, was successfully able to parry one of Chun-Li's unregistered trademark super moves while having very little health left and then counter with his own, winning the round and eventually the match as a result. EVO 2005 2005 was the first year EVO was held in Las Vegas at the Green Valley Ranch Casino and Hotel. EVO 2006 EVO 2006 took place at the Red Rock Resort Spa and Casino in Las Vegas. 2006 was the first year that Capcom gave its official, public support of the Evolution tournaments. Traditionally, EVO has only included fighting games, but in 2006 it included Mario Kart DS in its lineup. EVO 2007, EVO 2008, EVO 2008 took place at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas from August 8 to August 10. The tournament would feature 6 games within its official roster: Capcom vs. SNK 2, Tekken 5, Dark Resurrection, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Super Street Fighter II Turbo, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. EVO 2008 also allowed attendees a preview of BlazBlue, Calamity Trigger, Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter II Turbo HD Remix, and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. EVO 2009 EVO 2009 took place on July 17 to July 19. Held at the Rio Convention Center, in Las Vegas, Nevada, the tournament itself would feature 6 games in its official roster: Guilty Gear 20, Accent Core, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, Super Street Fighter II Turbo HD Remix and Street Fighter 4. Notably, the newly released Street Fighter 4 increased EVO attendance by a considerable margin, and the tournament for it alone boasted more 1,000 participants, almost 3 times that of the tournaments for the other games. EVO 2010 EVO 2010 had a massive number of competitors, with Super Street Fighter 4 amassing approximately 1,800 players to duel for a $20,000 guaranteed prize pot. Most notable in this EVO was Justin Wong cementing his dominance in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in its proverbial swan song, defeating the champion of the previous year, Sanford Kelly. Also notable was Wong failing to make the top 8 in Super Street Fighter 4, falling victim first to Vance Van Jeef Wu, and soon after to Taiwanese player Bruce Gamer Be Seen. Melty Blood, Actress again was included after a poll on Shoryuken.com to decide on the final game of the tournament, beating out Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, Capcom vs SNK 2, Marvel vs Capcom 2, Soul Calibur 4, and The King of Fighters 12. BlazBlue, Calamity Trigger was to be included, but after a majority of the community moved on to BlazBlue, Continuum Shift, the decision was made to replace it with Marvel vs Capcom 2. Also notable was G4's limited coverage of the event, even offering ex-Play host Adam Sessler for commentary of the Super Street Fighter 4 finals. EVO 2011. For EVO 2011, a tournament season was announced in which players could earn ranking points at one of 8 tournaments. It took place at the Rio Las Vegas from July 29 to July 31, utilizing a 55,000 square foot ballroom. All 50 states of the U.S. were represented, as well as 44 additional countries. On July 25, 2011, it was announced that PlayStation Home users could watch a live stream of the tournament. EVO 2011 was the most viewed event in its history, its live stream watched by over 2 million unique viewers on Ustream over the course of the event. In attendance was Street Fighter series producer Ono Yoshinori, who announced a free balance patch for Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition. Tekken series producer Kazuhiro Harada was also on hand to show new mechanics for Tekken Tag Tournament 2 and Soul Calibur. The other unreleased games shown were Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, King of Fighters 13, Skullgirls and Street Fighter 3, Third Strike Online Edition. A Skullgirls side tournament was held in which the winner received a one-of-a-kind Skullgirls-themed arcade stick. Media outlets G4, GameSpot and Destructoid were all present to cover the event. A notable occurrence in the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament was the success an 8-year-old named Noah Solis, whose team included Hulk, Sentinel and Albert Wesker. Solis's performance included a perfect round in less than 10 seconds. Solis was eventually eliminated by Mortal Kombat finalist Chris G. In an interview with Giant Bomb, Solis's father, Moises Solis, spoke of how he intends to support his son's success in fighting games, citing video games as one way alongside education to avoid falling into gang culture. EVO 2012. EVO 2012 took place July 6 to July 8, 2012, at Caesars Palace, Paradise, Nevada. On January 3, Joey Cuellar announced that EVO 2012 would have 6 main tournament games: Super Street Fighter 4, Arcade Edition, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur 5, The King of Fighters 13 and Street Fighter X Tekken. The tournament series from the previous year returned, featuring seeding points for all 6 games and 17 events all across the world. EVO 2013. EVO 2013 was announced on December 2, 2012. It was held on July 12 for Euro 14 at Paris Las Vegas. On January 8, Joey Cuellar announced that EVO 2013 would have 8 main tournament games, with the first 7 revealed being Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Super Street Fighter 4, Arcade Edition, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter X Tekken, The King of Fighters 13, and Persona 4 Arena. The 8th game was voted on by players via online donations, all proceeds of which went to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. The eventual winner of the poll was Super Smash Bros. Melee with $94,683 raised for that game, while the total amount of donations was $225,744. Nintendo of America initially objected to the streaming of Melee matches, although a live stream was ultimately allowed to be carried out as planned. On May 7, 2013 it was announced that Injustice: Gods Among Us would be a main tournament game, thus expanding the game roster from 8 to 9. EVO 2014. EVO 2014 was announced on September 15, 2013. It was held on July 11 at Euro 13, 2014 at the Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino. On February 6, 2014, Quayler announced that EVO 2014 would include Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Injustice, Gods Among Us, The King of Fighters 13, Killer Instinct, and BlazBlue, Chrono Phantasma, while also mentioning that discussions were ongoing with Nintendo on the possible inclusion of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Melee was eventually officially added to the roster with Nintendo's approval. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 was also later added to the roster. References. External links, official website.